Imagine opening your eyes in the middle of a freezing winter morning. Except there is no house around you. No walls. No roof. No heater. No warm bed. No grocery store. No electricity. Not even a guarantee that you'll have fire tonight. The wind cuts through your skin like thousands of tiny knives. Every breath burns your lungs. Snow stretches across the landscape as far as your eyes can see. Somewhere in the distance, wolves are already following your scent. But strangely enough, they aren't your greatest threat. The real enemy is the cold itself. Thousands of years ago, before cities, before farming, and before civilization, winter wasn't simply another season. It was a deadly force that returned every year, wiping out animals, destroying food supplies, and pushing entire human tribes to the edge of extinction. One failed hunt could mean starvation. One freezing night could kill an entire family. One mistake could erase generations forever. Yet despite these impossible conditions, ancient humans survived. They crossed frozen continents, hunted gigantic Ice Age animals, raised children, and eventually became the ancestors of every person alive today. How? The answer is darker, and far more fascinating, than most people imagine. Some of their survival methods seem unbelievable. Others are disturbing enough to sound like scenes from a horror movie. Tonight, we're traveling back tens of thousands of years to uncover the darkest survival methods ancient humans used during Earth's most brutal winters. Chapter 1. Winter was humanity's greatest predator. When people imagine prehistoric life, they usually think about terrifying predators. Massive cave bears. Saber-toothed cats. Giant wolves. But archaeological evidence suggests something even more dangerous stalked our ancestors every single year. Winter. During the Ice Age, temperatures in parts of Europe and Asia frequently dropped below -30°C. Some regions became frozen wastelands where food almost disappeared for months. Plants died beneath thick layers of snow. Rivers froze solid. The sun barely appeared. Many animals migrated hundreds of miles away, while others simply died. For humans, this meant one terrifying reality. There was almost nothing left to eat. Unlike modern people, ancient humans couldn't open a pantry or order food. Every meal required hunting, gathering, or finding whatever nature had not already buried beneath snow. Starvation became a constant companion. Archaeologists believe that freezing temperatures and hunger likely killed far more people than predators ever did. Winter wasn't just difficult. It was nature's annual survival exam. Only the strongest, smartest, and most cooperative people lived long enough to see spring. Chapter 2. Conserving every single calorie. Modern humans often think movement is healthy. For ancient humans trapped inside freezing winters, movement could actually become deadly. Every step burned precious calories. Every unnecessary journey wasted energy that might never be replaced. Imagine walking for 6 hours through deep snow only to discover there were no animals to hunt. Now you've lost hundreds of calories without gaining any food. That mistake alone might shorten your life. This is why many researchers believe Ice Age humans dramatically reduced their activity during the coldest weeks. Families stayed inside caves or temporary shelters for long periods. They spoke less, moved less, worked less. Some scientists compare this behavior to a very mild version of hibernation. Not true hibernation like bears, but an intentional slowing of daily life to conserve as much energy as possible. Children were encouraged to remain close together. Adults rested whenever possible. Every heartbeat, every movement, every breath mattered. The less energy they used, the longer they could survive. Chapter 3. Wearing entire animals. Imagine hunting a giant reindeer after days without food. Today, we'd probably keep the meat and throw away most of the rest. Ancient humans couldn't afford such waste. Every part of the animal had value. The skin became clothing. The fur became blankets. The tendons became sewing thread. Bones became tools. Even hooves and antlers found new purposes. Fresh animal hides still contained natural fats that helped trap body heat. Several layers of fur created insulation powerful enough to survive freezing nights. Some people wrapped themselves almost completely inside enormous animal skins while sleeping. The smell was unpleasant. The hides were heavy. Sometimes they were still damp. But those uncomfortable skins often meant the difference between life and death. Without fur clothing, many Ice Age regions would have been completely uninhabitable. Chapter 4. The underground world. When we think of prehistoric homes, we usually picture caves. But caves weren't always available. So ancient humans became remarkably creative. Across parts of Europe and Siberia, archaeologists have discovered evidence of shelters built partially underground. These weren't random holes. They were carefully designed homes. The earth itself acted as insulation. Instead of allowing freezing winds to steal precious heat, the surrounding soil kept temperatures far more stable. Snow also became an unexpected ally. Although snow feels freezing, thick layers actually trap warm air remarkably well. A shelter buried beneath snow could remain much warmer than the open landscape above. From a distance, it looked like nothing more than another snow-covered hill. Inside, entire families gathered around small fires, waiting for winter to loosen its grip. Chapter 5. Fire was more precious than gold today. If our fire goes out, we simply light another match. Ancient humans had no such luxury. Creating fire from scratch could take hours. Sometimes it wasn't even possible during storms or heavy snowfall. Losing fire meant losing warmth. It meant frozen food. It meant darkness. It meant death. Many tribes treated fire almost like a living member of the family. Someone remained awake to protect it. Before sleeping, glowing coals were buried beneath thick ash so they could survive until morning. When families moved across the landscape, they often carried burning embers inside special containers lined with bark, moss, or animal dung that burned slowly for hours. Keeping fire alive became one of the most important jobs in the tribe. Because once the flames disappeared, hope often disappeared with them. Chapter 6. Eating the parts nobody wants. Winter forced humans to abandon the idea of favorite foods. Survival erased personal preference. After a successful hunt, absolutely nothing went to waste. The richest prize wasn't always the meat. It was the fat. Fat contains more than twice as much energy as protein. During freezing winters, it became priceless. Bone marrow was especially valuable. Hunters smashed open thick bones using heavy rocks to reach the nutritious marrow hidden inside. Brains, liver, kidneys, heart, and other organs were carefully eaten because they contained vitamins impossible to find elsewhere during winter. Even cracked bones were boiled repeatedly to extract every last bit of nutrition. If no animals could be found, people searched beneath frozen ground for edible roots. Certain tree barks became emergency food. Pine needles could be boiled into vitamin-rich drinks. What seems unappetizing today was often the only reason entire families survived another week. Chapter 7. Hunting giants together. A single person had almost no chance against an Ice Age mammoth. But a coordinated group could achieve the impossible. Winter hunting required teamwork unlike anything seen today. Scouts tracked animals across snow-covered landscapes. Hunters spread out to surround their target. Others waited near cliffs or narrow valleys where escape became difficult. Sometimes they spent hours, or even days, slowly driving gigantic animals toward natural traps. Once the animal fell, one mammoth could provide thousands of kilograms of meat, enormous quantities of fat, thick hides for clothing, and huge bones for building shelters. But there was one rule. Food had to be shared. A tribe that refused to care for its weakest members often became weaker itself. Cooperation wasn't kindness. It was survival. Chapter 8. The psychological battle. Perhaps the darkest challenge wasn't hunger. It wasn't wolves. It wasn't freezing temperatures. It was hopelessness. Imagine living through months where every day looks exactly the same. Gray skies. Endless snow. Constant hunger. No certainty that tomorrow would bring food. Ancient humans had no weather forecasts. No calendars. No way of knowing exactly when spring would return. To fight despair, they told stories around the fire. They painted animals on cave walls. They performed rituals. They sang. They passed knowledge from one generation to another. These traditions weren't simply entertainment. They reminded people that winter always ended. That survival was possible. That their ancestors had endured the cold before them. Hope itself became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. Conclusion. Today, we complain when our homes become slightly cold. We adjust the thermostat, put on another sweater, or make a hot drink. But for tens of thousands of years, winter was a relentless enemy that tested every human alive. Our ancestors survived by conserving every calorie, by wearing entire animals, by protecting fire like treasure, by building underground shelters, by eating whatever nature offered, and above all, by trusting one another. Those brutal survival methods may seem primitive today, but without them, human civilization would never have existed. Every city, every invention, every modern comfort exists because someone, somewhere, survived one more impossible winter. If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's darkest past, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us next time as we uncover another forgotten chapter of human history. Because history is often stranger and far darker